broken starts, but then sometimes it just implodes. Yeah, I think I still have it marked as my current deck. I wonder if this command works. Hold on, let's see. Deck? I don't know. The deck overlay probably still has the Aristocrats deck I was playing, unless I updated it. Yeah, that definitely did not work. I thought it would, though. Gotta get the Stream Decker bot in the stream first, I'm pretty sure. Alright, so we are playing Control. And I think I want to see what they're up to. And the double Narset is not great. We're going to take one, and then we'll be able to deal with one with Oath of Kaya at least. Also, Elspeth Conquers Death is really good against us. So my plan is Oath of Kaya and then probably Treacherous Blessing. The only card I'm really worried about is Elspeth Conquers Death because it permanently removes our Doom Foretold and obviously buys them back one of their strong planeswalkers.
Let's slow this.
Let's see what they do with Teferi here.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Alright. I think it makes sense to... it should be in the beginning of March. I don't know if they've released the dates for it yet. But usually there's like 2 seasons and then a qualifier. And this is the 2nd season. So I'm hoping to find out soon. I actually honestly feel like with this deck, I have a good chance of qualifying because it's so consistent. And you do have to win, obviously, a lot of matches in a row, but it feels more possible with this one than with pretty much any deck I've ever played. Alright, so they're going to work on getting Narset back with this. I think Doom Foretold is nice in this spot, because they'll have to sacrifice one of these two. Could also consider Oath of Kaya to kill Teferi. But that seems worse. You go ahead and Doom Foretold. Yeah, Worlds is this weekend, I think. So here they're going to probably Banishing Light our Doom Foretold, and we will be able to Teferi bounce it, getting rid of their Elspeth Conquers Death. The only thing that stops us is if they have another land and an Absorb. And if that's the case, there's not too many ways we can play around that. Oh, they've Banishing Lighted. Interesting, they just wanted to get rid of our Doom Foretold that way. Okay. I can't Dance of the Mance to get it back this turn. I don't really want to bounce that. I guess Archon... Oh man, not a lot of good options here. Maybe Archon making them deal with it. And then keeping up blue mana to play Omen of the Sea is our best option. Yeah, I've been almost exclusively running this on the ladder, with the exception of the Aristocrats deck I was playing before. Yeah, and I've cracked the, like I said, the top 100, and then I've floated around in the 100s for a while. So the fact that I can do this on their turn at least gets me around the paying 2 extra for it, and it will start to give me a little bit of a board to threaten them that they'll have to deal with. I think we are favored in this matchup, but it's really skill intensive, and it doesn't feel like there's a lot of room for error. And Elspeth Conquers Death is one of those cards that makes it really tough. Alright, so they are going to get back to Fairy, so I have to do this now. And I do not want either of these cards.
Sorry I'm late.
So maybe they're going to bounce Banishing Light and play it on the Archon, but I think we can punish them with a big Dance of the Mance to get back Doom Foretold there. And we'll get back Treacherous Blessing as well when we resolve Dance of the Mance. So we can start building up that card advantage. I'm very surprised at that play. Doesn't really seem like that 2/2 mattered all that much right now. Alright, so they have a second Banishing Light. And here, I think we can play around Absorb by playing Teferi, bouncing the Banishing Light, and then playing Oath of Kaya to kill Teferi. That seems really strong.
Trust me.
I am going to do that.
Thank me later. Here we go.
Oh, and we actually have Agonizing Remorse. So I could also just play Agonizing Remorse and Birth of Meletus. I actually think that's even better. So let's see what they have in hand. Not in their graveyard. Don't really care about Shadow of the Sky. I guess I care about Dream Trawler. Yeah. And this will sort of force their hand. They can Shadow the Sky on their turn. They may make the mistake of plussing Teferi and thinking they can do it on our turn, forgetting about our Teferi.
I'll protect you.
Okay, so now they can actually do it on our turn, but as long as they didn't just draw a counterspell, we should win the game right here. The question is, I think first we're going to attack their Teferi, forcing them to do it. And now we can Dance of the Mance and make them all creatures without worrying about them getting lost to Shatter the Sky. So we'll Dance of the Mance for 6. And it feels like at this point we've sort of locked up the game. Elspeth Conquers Death does make it a lot harder, but short of that, we just have so many extra cards and obviously a board. And the second Dance of the Mance is excellent, just in case they do get rid of our Doom Foretold. As long as it doesn't get exiled, we can buy it back again. So they're thinking about something, maybe considering how to use Teferi here. Maybe considering bouncing the Doom Foretold.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Alright, they're digging for cards. But again, I think at this point we've got so many extra cards in hand and a Doom Foretold that it's going to be very hard for them to get back in it. Alright, and I have enough that this also plays around Mystical Dispute, just in case they do have that. Go ahead and attack. Oath of Kaya. And play a tap land. So here, they're dangerously close to giving us back our Teferi. They really need... Yeah, even Agent of Treachery is actually not that good against us. Go ahead and sacrifice the Oath of Kaya. Here we're going to attack. And get rid of their Agent of Treachery. So now they'll either have to sacrifice the Doom Foretold or the Banishing Light, and I suspect the Doom Foretold will go. If they have exactly Absorb here, they stay in it a little bit longer. Or Sinister Sabotage. I don't really see a reason to Dance of the Manse on this turn. We'll let them keep sacrificing things. That's the nice thing about being the Doom Foretold deck, is we're set up to sacrifice things and they are not. Alright, Dream Trawler is really strong here. So I need to consider... can I somehow kill them here? If I scry into another Oath of Kaya, I could kill them outright. Think I'm gonna try that. And we did it! Alright, so we'll play this. Oath of Kaya. And then Dance of the Manse. We'll go for 6, but it doesn't really matter. We will get those Oath of Kayas back. Alright. Yeah, just gotta play to our outs. Obviously Dream Trawler was a bit scary, but we knew about the Oath of Kaya chance. Woo! Man, that was a long game. Alright. Dovin's Veto and the 3 Mystical Disputes are coming in. Getting rid of 2 of the Wraths. And shaving down 1 Oath of Kaya and 2 Birth of Meletus. I like keeping most of the Oath of Kayas because it does allow us to get rid of Teferi and Narset pretty quickly. 1 Wrath is like an escape plan for Dream Trawler if we don't have the Doom Foretold thing going. And then keeping the 1 Birth of Meletus just helps us make our land drops against a control deck when that's really important. So I feel like this is a pretty good configuration. Yeah, that was pretty exciting. My eyes definitely lit up when I saw the Oath of Kaya there, because Dream Trawler was going to be a bit of a problem. Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for coming by, Mark. It's always good to see you. Thank you. Alright, and this is definitely good enough to keep. Feel pretty optimistic about our chances here. We've got card draw, a couple Doom Fortolds, and a hard counter. So we have to play carefully because they have a lot of dangerous things they can do on 3. Luckily, we can hold up Dovin's Veto and then Omen of the Sea at the end of their turn if they don't do that. So I'm worried about Narset mostly here, and they're considering it, I think. They have chosen to play around the potential for counter magics. Alright, and if we are both just drawing cards, I like my chances because I am going to have the 2-card advantage since they were on the play and they mulled. I also think the combination of double Dovin's Veto, double Doom Foretold is going to be very strong, and Agonizing Remorse is also spectacular. I think I want both of these cards because I like hitting my land drops as well. So here, I'm just going to play that tapped. And there's not any creature spells we're worried about, so just keeping up Dovin's Veto seems really good. The only creature spell we're worried about is on 6. And Castle Vantress will put some pressure on them in a couple turns as well, because we can start scrying. I wonder if it's worth it to Agonizing Remorse here, so we'll still have a Dovin's Veto up, and then potentially just go for Doom Foretold next turn once we clear the way. I think I like that plan. Alright, so they have 2 Teferis and a Dream Trawler. I don't really care about any of those cards. I think Doom Foretold will help get rid of Dream Trawler when it lands. But since I can easily counter both Teferis, I'm going to take the Dream Trawler here. And this may force them to go for it with Teferi on their turn. In which case we can counter it and then play Doom Foretold. And it definitely helps us that they have no permanence. I could consider even not countering it and just getting rid of it with Doom Foretold. That does give them an extra card. That seems unnecessary. So we'll play the Doom Foretold here. And now, if they play Teferi, we can Doom Foretold to get rid of it. And the nice thing is we even have Dovin's Veto to back it up if we need it.
Don't worry, I got this.
Oh, they have their own Dovin's Veto. That makes things kind of interesting. We will go for the Dance of the Manse next turn, so we should be able to get both of them back. I like Agonizing Remorse as well. I feel like we've drawn particularly well this game, not gonna lie.
Trust me, I have a plan.
So here, I kind of like playing Teferi, plussing Teferi. I just don't want our Dance of the Manse to be countered, and we can't counter back if that's the case, because it's so important. So I think I am going to Agonizing Remorse to see what they're doing. And then I'll play Teferi. Okay, that resolves.
I know my responsibility.
And we'll keep building up that card advantage.
As I go.
Wow. All of these are spectacular. Alright, and unless they have something incredible here, this should pretty much be the last turn of the game. We're going to play out a huge Dance of the Manse. Alright, so they did find some action, it looks like. Elspeth Conquers Death is kind of annoying, if that's what they drew. Alright. So here, we are going to shock. We'll plus Teferi. And we're going to play this for 6. Getting back both of the Doom Foretold as creatures. And because we have Teferi, they can't do anything in terms of casting cards on our turn. So I'm wondering if they forgot about that, and that's why they kept whatever they did on top. They can make a 1/1. Yeah, they won't even be able to flash in like Omen of the Sea on their upkeep. Not that it really matters in this exact situation, but it is something to note while we have Teferi out. And even a Dream Trawler is pretty easily solved by the Doom Foretolds. So I guess worst case scenario would be Elspeth Conquers Death, getting rid of one of our Doom Foretolds. Still not the end of the world though. And the fact that we also have Dream Trawler and our own Elspeth Conquers Death is pretty nice. Alright, Agent of Treachery, I guess. Stealing the Doom Foretold, I don't really think we care at all about that. So we'll go ahead and let that resolve. Sacking both of our Omens. And here we can plus, play out Elspeth Conquers Death on the Agent of Treachery. And we could Agonizing Remorse on their upkeep. They're going to end up having to discard anyway. I think just keeping up Dovin's Veto feels good. So I'm not going to put any stops there. Oh, and we got an Elspeth Conquers Death. That is excellent. So that's what they were debating between, was the Elspeth Conquers Death and the Agent of Treachery. I do think Elspeth Conquers Death probably was better there. Alright, and that'll do. Alright, so we win a very long, exciting match against Blue-White Control. And I think I'm going to call it a night there. Thanks for tuning in.